Okay, so welcome everyone. I can see we've got a few participants starting to join, which is great. So yeah, welcome to our webinar today, which is going to be everything you need to know about HubSpot's brand new Content Hub. Today, I am going to be your host for the webinar. My name is Katie, and I'm currently working as an acquisition consultant at BBD Boom. So my role mainly is working with our clients to support them with their marketing strategies, helping them produce content, and helping them optimize their campaigns through HubSpot. So I'll be your host, and today I'm also joined by Jack, Solutions Engineer at HubSpot. Jack, did you want to introduce yourself and your role?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So yeah, I'm Jack. I'm a solutions engineer. I've been in HubSpot around 2 years now. So I work with customers in the UK mid-market segment, really helping them to value HubSpot and what HubSpot can do for their business. Prior to that, I kind of implemented HubSpot for a couple of years in my last role as well. So been in the HubSpot kind of ecosystem for around 4 years now. So yeah, looking forward to going through this today.
Nice. Yeah, it's very exciting. So just to go over the agenda for today, we're mainly going to be covering what is Content Hub, first of all, and what are the benefits, what's changing for existing customers and how will that affect you if you're already on HubSpot. And then the most exciting part, we're going to hand over to Jack and do a bit of a demo of some of the key tools that are included in Content Hub. We'll also have a bit of a Q&A session at the end, so you have a chance to ask any questions, but please feel free to drop any questions in the chat as well while we go, and we'll try and answer them whilst we go through. So to start off with, what is Content Hub? So Content Hub has been described as HubSpot as an all-in-one AI-powered marketing software. So really it's to help you create and manage your content to fuel your entire customer journey with automation and personalization as well. The idea is that the role of content has kind of just evolved beyond past just a lead generation tool, and marketers are needing to create more content than ever before, distribute it on more channels than ever before, and also throughout the customer journey. It's not just at one point. So HubSpot has developed Content Hub to make it easier for you to manage that content and get it out across the journey and as personalized as possible. But how are you thinking about Content Hub over at HubSpot, Jack?
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of buzz, obviously, in the teams. I think everyone's super excited to get stuck into it and really start working with customers out there to implement Content Hub. I think the one thing that we hear so often is, with marketing teams, there's so many jobs to be done, right? There's content generation, there's SEO, there's the critical comms that need to go out. And I think, with Marketing Hub being so rich, having this kind of next iteration with Content Hub really kind of extends that toolkit for marketing teams. And I think that's where a lot of the buzz is happening, right? That there's a dedicated place now where marketing teams are going to be able to leverage content. But most importantly, as you mentioned there, using AI, using some of the efficiency tools in there to make sure that it's not just another, job to be done that's always on the back burner. It's something that we can really leverage and take to the next level. I think, old CMS, was a particular set of tools for a particular reason and a particular user case. Now this next iteration with Content Hub, I think, does take that kind of marketing team's kind of toolkit to the next level. So I think that's how we're thinking about it, and really excited to show you some of those tools.
Yeah, nice. As you said, it's a lot easier, I think, having everything in one place as well, rather than sort of distributed throughout HubSpot. It's now a lot easier to manage that, which kind of brings us on quite nicely to the benefits of Content Hub. So as we said there, it's very easy now to create those dynamic and personalized content experiences that speak directly to the audience's needs. It's very easy to tailor content depending on, their life cycle stage, where they are, what industry they work in, for example. And you also have the powerful analytics that HubSpot's got in its reporting tools to help you sort of leverage those analytics, combine it with your CRM data to really help optimize your content and create experiences that are actually going to hit home. As you said there, with the AI-powered tools, from content generation and image generation and some of the things we'll be showing you later, it's going to be really easy now to create content and repurpose it on different platforms. So it's nice to have something that's going to do the heavy lifting for you. And not only that, it's going to help save a lot of time and increase productivity by having everything in one place so you can easily manage, update and distribute your content from one sort of central location. So it's nice to streamline your workflow as well. So just in terms of what is actually changing, so the biggest change obviously is that CMS Hub, which was formerly a standalone offering, will now be part of the new Content Hub. So we're no longer refer to it as the CMS Hub, but all of the website tools are now going to be placed within Content Hub. So as Jack mentioned, it brings together better in terms of website management, your blogs, your landing pages. It's now going to be under a unified platform. So it's just going to be a little bit more streamlined. But how does that affect existing customers, Jack?
Yeah, so try and put this as simply as we can. So if someone's on CMS Hub today, they'll stay on CMS Hub until the point that they upgrade to Content Hub. So CMS Hub will essentially become a legacy product, but customers who are on it today will stay there. Likewise for Marketing Hub as well. So there's some features and tools that will be moving across into Content Hub. But if you're a Marketing Hub customer as of today, you'll keep those tools. We won't be removing those tools from people. But again, Content Hub will be there for you to upgrade and add on to your package as well. For obviously new customers, it's Content Hub all the way forward. CMS Hub, as you say, will be now incorporated as part of Content Hub.
Nice. Yeah, so it's good to know. I think a lot of our customers would have been asking, am I going to lose any features if I've currently got Marketing Hub? So the good news is you're not going to lose anything. But as you say, you can upgrade to access the Content Hub features that we're going to be demoing today, which is great. Just to give you a quick overview of the pricing and how that is structured as well before we get on to the demo. So as with all of the other hubs, you've got 3 different tiers. You've got Starter, Professional and Enterprise. Professional comes with 3 core seats, which means you've got edit access to all of those tools. And then Enterprise has 5 core seats, and then you can purchase additional seats if you need. So that's just a very quick overview of the structure and the different tools that they give you. So Starter gives you access to some of the AI content, so in topics, in blogs and image generation. You've also got access to landing pages, CTAs and forms within Starter. But for a lot of the tools that we will be demoing today, it will require a professional subscription. So that includes the content remix, content embeds, and some of the brand voice and reporting features that we're going to be going into. As Jack said as well, you can actually combine this in the Marketing Plus bundle. Did you want to tell us a little bit about this one?
Yeah, I think this is a really kind of great opportunity for customers to get started with both those packages. And I think, in the most cases, it's probably going to be a no-brainer there for marketing teams to go with the Marketing Plus. And I think definitely inside HubSpot, that's kind of how we're thinking about it, that it's kind of Marketing Plus first, because, who wouldn't want to do blogs? Who's not going to want to do landing pages and enrich that with some of the content tools that we're going to go through today? So it is bringing together the power of those 2 hubs into a single kind of product there for you to purchase.
Yeah, definitely. And as it's at a discounted rate as well, as you say, it's a bit of a no-brainer because a lot of these features are going to form part of your wider marketing strategy. So it's really nice that this offer is available. But yeah, if anybody has any questions, feel free to drop those in the chat. Otherwise, I'm actually going to hand over to Jack now so he can do a little bit of a demo of some of the tools. So I'm going to stop sharing and let Jack take over.
Perfect. Thanks, Katie. So let me go here. Perfect. So as Katie said, we're going to walk through and demo some of these tools then. Really kind of extensive tool set. We're not going to go through absolutely everything. I know we're going to kind of touch up lightly towards the end on a few of the other features. I wanted to start off though with blogs because I feel like blogs is the centerpiece, right, with Content Hub. It's where a lot of that is going to originate and a lot of the tools sit around this. So some customers, if you're on marketing, you might have seen this before, but really kind of new for Content Hub is the ability to generate blog posts using AI. So AI generated blog posts. One of the things that we often hear, when we're demoing and we're showing potential customers, we're showing them the features of blogs. Everyone seems to know the value. Everyone seems to want to do blogs, but it's always adding to that work to be done. It's another job. It's time consuming. It's not that efficient. The AI blog generator really kind of changes that. So we can spin that up. We would give that AI a blog topic or an idea. You can see up here as well, we can do that using AI if we're drawing a complete blank on what we want to talk about. So in here, we want to talk about content marketing in 2024 and specifically how HubSpot can help. That's going to be our prompt. We can give it keywords in there. We can choose our country of our target audience, and we can choose from any country in there. So if we've got specific content, we'll come on to it in a bit, how language can play a part in this as well. As we go through, then the AI is going to generate suggested content topics and articles. So you can see all of the headings that it's generated here. But not only that, it's going to interact with SEMrush to pull in SEO data. So you can see each of the different topics here, what the monthly search volume is, how difficult that is to rank, and what the keyword intent of that is as well. And it's really helpful. You've got these little explanations from SEMrush directly in here as well. So you can go through here. You might want it to generate a new title. It's going to give you the keyword within that. And you can choose, obviously, what's relevant for you while still leveraging some of that SEO data to make sure it's fully optimized for what you're trying to achieve. Once we get that to generate, then it's going to give us each of the paragraph headers. So you can see here we're decoding HubSpot's content marketing framework. If we wanted to enrich that and give the AI a bit more pointers before it generates that entire blog, we can add talking points to each of these sections. So the AI is really going to start to learn and understand what we're trying to achieve with this blog and make it super relevant for our customers and our target audience. One of the other things as well, which is part of Content Hub, is the ability to automatically generate an image using AI as well. You can see really handy in here. You just got a tick box to include that generated image straight out the bat. As we go through and generate that, then you can see we've generated an entire blog post with a couple of clicks of a button entirely using AI, whilst being fully optimized for those monthly search volumes, those keywords, those topics that we're trying to talk to. One of the things that I think we hear quite often inside of HubSpot around AI is, people see the value, it's great, we want to leverage it, but it doesn't always sound like us, right? It doesn't always get its bang on every single time. And really where Content Hub is taking that to the next level is bringing in things like brand voice. So whilst previously, and again, if customers have seen this before, you can take bits of the text within this blog, change the tone depending on how you want that to sound. But now we're going to enrich that AI with what we call brand voice. And brand voice is going to allow us to tell the AI, almost train the AI around how we should be sounding, how we should be talking, what our kind of style of writing is. So we can come into the settings inside of HubSpot. We've got this brand voice section here, and we can go through and generate that. We'd give it a writing sample from maybe one of our existing blogs, looking down those analytics, those rich analytics that you're going to get with HubSpot out of the box. You're going to be able to put that in there as a sample and tell HubSpot, what type of sample is this? Is this a blog post? Is it a case study? Is it a social post? And we can also give it some context around who the target audience is. So for example, we're looking for marketing professionals, small to medium price enterprises. We're looking in here at our blog post that's previously been generated. Once we've got that, then HubSpot's going to review that and automatically pick some categories which sound like your writing style. So give HubSpot my writing style here. It's innovative, it's trustworthy, it's helpful. Here's the tone of it. We can come in and edit that if we wanted to, give it a bit more context. And now what we've got is our full kind of brand voice within here, and we can give it even more context within here. So we're going to tell it our company mission, and we can put, multiple layers of text in here. So we're going to give it even more context that when we come into this blog post, even if the AI has not got it absolutely perfect straight away, we can come in here and apply that brand voice to what it has generated. So it's really going to start learning about the brand. It's really going to have that context about you and your business. So it isn't just that, ChatGPT generated that, everyone's going to try and leverage. It's taking it to the next level with the context that you have of your business as well.
Yeah, I really like this because a lot of concerns from the clients that I work with is that if they've got multiple teams or if they're a large organization, they've got loads of people creating content, this is going to be really helpful, I think, to make sure that the content they're creating is consistent and it's sort of the similar sort of language, because I know everyone has different ways of writing. So I think this will be really helpful there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's going to show up in a number of different tools. So we're going to be able to keep that consistent messaging. You can see how we generated there the brand voice for various different samples. We can put that in for blog posts, for social posts. So yeah, you're absolutely right there, Katie. Keeping that consistent voice across the marketing team is really useful. I'll also just call out quickly on a few other tools that we've got in here as well. So for customers that look into create content across languages, that could be really difficult and time consuming in itself, right? So we've generated this here. Maybe in other tools, you'd want to take that blog, you'd turn it into another one, you'd have to go and take that text, translate it. We now have AI translation built into this. So you can come up here, create a multi-language variant of it. We're going to choose what language it's in at the minute and where we want it to go to. So let's just use French, for example. We can replace that or save as a new version. We'll replace it in this instance. And at a click of a button, we've now got a French blog generated just like that. So it's translated everything in there straight into French for us without having to go through all of that work that typically might happen. So I think really powerful tool for companies, that are spanning across multiple markets in there to make sure that content's relevant for those markets. So once we've got that blog post, once we've got that content that's been generated, we've used our brand voice to make sure it's consistent. One of my favorite features, and I think one of the kind of headliners really of the Content Hub is the content remix. So you might ramp up, let's use blog as an example, because it's probably most relevant here, that you might want to start ramping up doing blogs, but actually it's the things that go around it. We don't want to be creating extra jobs for the marketing team that, okay, we now need to publicize that blog. We need to get it out on socials. We need to get it out via email. We maybe need some imagery around that. That's where we can use the content remix. So we're going to start remixing here. And it's in that kind of workflow kind of UI. If anyone's used to seeing HubSpot's workflow interface, we're going to be able to add content within here. We'll choose the blog post that's relevant for us. Let's use this one here. So we can attach that content into this remix builder. And we can also select what we want it to turn that content into. So it's going to take that existing blog post and what do we want to do with it? Well, we want to turn it into, let's say, a social post. We want to turn it into an email, maybe an image as well. And once we go through that, we can then give it additional layers of context. And I think, that's a big part of Content Hub. We've got these features, but there's always that additional layer of context. And that's where obviously you guys come in. We don't want AI coming in, replacing everyone. That's what you guys will bring into Content Hub, is that context of your business. And there's always opportunities throughout Content Hub to give the AI and give the tools that context about what you're trying to achieve. So we can give it what the objective is of that social post, what the objective is of the email, what we want in there, how we want it to generate the image. Do we want it in a certain style? Do we want just AI to decide? And once we've built that out, you can see it will take those different channels and turn this existing blog post into those other things. So it's taken this blog post. We've now got a social post. We can really quickly save that and go and edit that within the social scheduler. The same for the email. The image we can save to our files, which will be available for us to use in, throughout the, if we're building a website page, building a landing page, building an email, we can use that throughout all of our different areas inside of HubSpot. So it's really embedded and I guess complementing Marketing Hub, right? It's weaving in those existing tools that we might use like social media scheduling, the email sending capabilities, but weaving in this remix to take what you've already built from a content perspective and turn it into those other channels.
Yeah, that's so useful because I think that's one of the most time-consuming things. I know for us as well, if we have a webinar, we've got a piece of content, we always push it out through email, socials. We might have a downloadable resource where we need images. So I think this is going to be a quite a big time saver for a lot of people.
Yeah, and I think whenever we've been talking in HubSpot to customers so far about Content Hub, this is the one that gets people to sit up, right? Is the remix, because yeah, I think like you say, that time saving there is huge.
Yeah.
Perfect. The last thing then, just for me to take you through. So for customers that are using WordPress, what we hear a lot is in old version CMS Hub, we'd have a lot of those conversations, and marketing teams would love the capabilities of building websites using dynamic content, not needing the developer resource to go and make changes to a WordPress website. But often there's a hurdle, there's a barrier to entry from moving to WordPress to HubSpot. That can often be a perception. So what we brought in as part of Content Hub is the content embed, which means all of the tools that you kind of know and love and want to use as part of HubSpot, the drag and drop editing, the smart content, you can use a content embed, which will place that directly on your WordPress website. So you can create the embed within here, and you can see there's this drag and drop editing functionality. So we can drag it in headings, text, any custom modules that we've got built within here, specific CTA, specific imagery that could be generated from AI, as we've already talked about. But what we can also do is add the smart rules. So the smart rules in there, for people who don't know, that's going to pull in any of that CRM data. So this is all still sitting on top of that CRM database, pulling in that really rich data that you have, meaning that you can create really tailored and personalized journeys throughout your website, even though you're still hosting your website on WordPress, because we're going to embed this content directly on there. And I think that's a massive gain for a lot of customers where they want to tap into this functionality from their website, but maybe, you know, it's a bigger project, it's a bigger conversation when we're thinking about removing WordPress or switching over. They can have this in there to really get started straight away and really empower the marketing teams to be making those changes to the website.
Yeah, that's really cool. I feel like smart content is such an underrated tool anyway, and the fact that it's now going to be accessible to people that do have their websites on WordPress is going to be a bit of a game changer, especially as you mentioned, for creating those personalized pieces of content, whether that's based on someone's life cycle stage or their country, or could even be the source that they came through. It's going to be really useful, I think, in helping better resonate with your customers.
Absolutely. Perfect. I'll pass back to you there, then, Katie.
Perfect, thank you. Cool. So I just have a few features left, not as big as the ones that Jack has just demoed, but a couple that I thought were worth mentioning. So the first one is the post narrator, and this is actually comes in hand with the AI blog generation, I think, as well, that Jack just showed there. But what this allows you to do is automatically create audio versions of your blog posts. So it's really good for people, you know, who are auditory learners, or they prefer consuming content by listening to it rather than reading it. I know personally, if it's a big blog post, I find it easier just to listen to it. But sometimes if you're using like native screen reader functionality, I find that it can be a bit too quick, doesn't really sound very human. So with the post narration module, you can actually offer new options for presenting your blogs. And it's really easy. At the top, there is a little module and you can just say, yep, I want to create a narration for this. You can actually also choose the style as well of the tone of voice. So it sounds a little bit more human and a little bit more real. And it will just automatically do that for you. And then you can literally just preview it here. It gives you a transcript of the narration, and then you can literally just add it to your blog post with one click as well. So yeah, very easy, a good way to reach people who prefer consuming content through audio, or people that do use a screen reader. So yeah, very useful, and also good for SEO too. So another quick one I wanted to mention. The next one is also podcasts, which I think is very exciting. I've worked with a few clients that have had podcasts, and it's been very hard to manage because they've got to upload them manually onto the platforms each week, bring it across into HubSpot, put it on their website. It's just been a lot of extra work for them. So with podcasts, you can either upload your own pre-recorded audio, or what I thought was really cool is that you can actually get the AI to generate the audio file for you. So you could literally give it a transcript, get HubSpot to generate the audio file, and then upload that as a podcast without having to, you know, find the time within your team to record those podcasts, edit them, etc. It's literally there, done for you. You can then upload a host, and you can then also add in imagery. Again, you can use the AI generated imagery, give it a category, and then you literally just click on create show, and you can send that over to platforms like Spotify or Apple by pasting the RSS feed and sharing it to your podcast platform. So very nice and easy way to manage that at scale. And you can then add that to your HubSpot website pages or landing pages with a module. So it saves you having to manually upload them onto Spotify, onto Apple, and then pull them across to your website. So I think this is a really exciting feature that I think a lot of people will benefit from, especially now more and more people are starting to do podcasts. Next one I wanted to show you is the content library. This is actually a new module that is in HubSpot's Content Hub, and it basically acts as a central area for all of your content assets that customers can go in and download and have a look at. So things like ebooks, if you've got webinars, you've got video files, PDF documents, guides, anything like that. A lot of customers like to create a resource inventory of their most useful resources like this on their website. website just to make it as easy as possible for people to find what they need. So this module will actually work with any theme that you're using. It's a drag and drop module, which makes it really easy for marketers to go in and edit. So you've got these default options here, but you can obviously rename and change them. So if it's not an ebook, you can change the title, you can upload your own image here, or you can use HubSpot's, or you can generate one with AI. And you can also change the layout of this as well. So at the moment, the one that you're seeing is the card view, but you can also change the style of this. So you might prefer to have tiles or a more minimal style, but then you can have that on your website as a sort of resource listing page, I guess. And it just helps you encourage interaction and sort of give the content that is most popular and most helpful to drive brand loyalty. So I thought that was a really cool one worth mentioning. And the very last one on my list before we finish is just memberships and gated blogs. So if you have used CMS Hub before, you might already be familiar with this, but what this allows you to do is have private content for your blog posts, your landing pages, and also your website pages. So users with published permissions on HubSpot can basically control which contacts can access specific HubSpot hosted pages. So you might be able to see, it's a little bit small, but in the screenshot here, you can see you can either make that public or you can actually change the privacy to private, and you can actually select a list and have it so that only contacts within that list can register, and it will generate a password for them so that it essentially becomes a gated sort of page where they can log in with a password and only viewed by people that are registered. So this is really useful. I think some use cases for this could be if you've got a blog that is specific to your customers, where you have sort of exclusive resources that you might offer to customers, or if you've got a membership area that some people can sign up to and you're offering them exclusive content through there. This could be really useful for that. And it just, again, back to that personalization point of view, I think it just really helps with that rather than having it available to everybody. So yeah, that was the last feature that I thought was worth mentioning as well. So just to conclude today, just to recap, Content Hub obviously helps you create and manage personalized content experiences across the entire customer journey, as we've mentioned. Obviously, we've shown some tools today like the brand voice, the content remix, and the AI tools, and they really aim to help you streamline your workflow and your content strategy and sort of keep everything on track by having that centralized place to manage your assets. But before we conclude today, I don't think we have any questions, but if you do, please feel free to drop them in the chat. Otherwise, if you are interested in learning more about Content Hub, please feel free to get in touch or reach out to us. You can either email us at grow@bbdboom.com or connect with us on LinkedIn as well, and we'll be happy to organise a demo to show you how Content Hub could benefit your business specifically, or answer any questions that you may have. But I don't think we have any other questions on that, so nice and easy. But thank you everyone for joining. Thank you as well for Jack for taking us through the demo, and yeah, we'll see you on our next webinar.
Thanks, Katie.
Thank you. Speak soon. Bye bye.